Howdy folks, it's Dalturl and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Oh my gosh, did I say 2020? I haven't said that in ages. As promised, we are going to do a VFR of Spa following the Formula 1 calendar. We're going to have to turn the weather off though. Because not only is this not flyable VFR, but we can't check out a racetrack in this condition. But anyway, before I turn the weather off, let's do the introductions, shall we? So as promised, following the Formula 1 calendar up until my big announcement, I guess I have to say, which you may or may not have seen yet, depending when it goes live. If it hasn't gone live, I'm talking about my big channel update. If it hasn't gone live, you're going to see it in the next day or two, but I think you've already seen it. Anywho, following Formula 1 calendar, it's currently summer break in Formula 1, but I am a week behind getting the Spa track VFR flight out because I was busy with family. We went on a family vacation, 13 of my wife's family, crammed into 2 cabins. I was the only dude. It was all the moms in the family with their kids, and then me, because all the husbands, they just have jobs they can't take out. They're very like, I mean, one's a fireman, full-time fireman. He couldn't get the time off. He just started another one, had already promised to help his very, very aging parents close up a cabin like 8 hours away the same week for some reason. I don't know, but whatever. So all these moms and their kids and me, fine with me, I don't mind. But because of the big channel update, I wasn't able to do anything except watch and feel badly that I couldn't do anything. But anyway, I don't know. Oh, that's why. That's why this video is a week late. And then it's summer break, so no more F1 for at least a month or longer once you get to the channel update video. So let's see here. We're in the fun 52. The 152, why not? In its default livery, why not? We're going to do a VFR flight of Spa. I'll tell you all about the race without spoilers and the circuit once we get over there. So let's clear up this weather first of all, and we'll just leave in a few clouds and just after sunrise. There you go. So 50 degrees. The track is right there, pretty much south of here. We should be able to find it without much problem. It is in the hills though, so it's not like a flat open area, but we should be able to find it. In fact, I think I see it, but I'm not going to point it out in case I'm wrong. Otherwise, the camera's not crooked. We're parked on the hill. That's why it's crooked. All right, here we go. Let's see. I was going to say something else I forgot before I cleared up weather, but that's okay. All right, make sure parking brake, whoops, is set. And it is now. Well, it started rolling away. You see that? Reset controls I did. Fuel and passengers. We'll just do a quick whoops, and I don't know, who should we take with us? You know what, I was my niece's best friend all during the cabin trip, so let's just take her. Yeah, I'm the fun uncle apparently, so there we go. Alright, we'll take her on a airplane ride. We've never taken her before. Alright, let's see here. Fuel shut off, that's between the seats, eh? Right, fuel shut off needs to go that way. Mixture rich, carb heat in, which it is in, of course. Prime this thing. Well, hello, excuse you. If this were Minecraft, I would have screamed and jumped out of my seat. That was so rude of you. Throttle halfway, master both on. Please. Click spots are weird. And strobe and beacon on because we're about to begin. And ignition start. And do we start up? We should, no problem. Throttle's back to 1,000 or 1,200. Coming back. And there's about 1,000. Jeez, dude. Please, some privacy, please. Flight plan, I just told you, fly south. Weather barometer, is there an ATIS? Oh my gosh, dude. Seriously. There's no ATIS, so we'll just hit B on the barometer, or B on the keyboard for barometer. And then we'll tune in traffic. And this will tell us which runway to use. So if we say, and now it's taxi.
Echo Bravo Sierra Papa Traffic Turtle Soup Tango 41 is taxiing to runway 23.
We know it's runway 23 we're going to use, which was the opposite one. So I think we have to back taxi, don't we? No, we don't. We'll just turn right and take that all the way to 23. Okay, very easy. Alrighty, then we'll turn left, and that's how we'll get to the circuit. Alrighty, taxi lights on. There are taxi lights on this? I guess there are right there. Flaps down 1 notch. There we go. And mixture bridge, yes. And we'll check. Actually, not necessarily when you taxi, by the way, but we don't worry about that in this simulator too much. We did worry about an X-plane, but not so much in this airplane. Alright, so here we go. Whoa. Okay, parking brake off, and we're rolling because we're going downhill. Yes, okay. But anyway, for those of you who don't watch every video on the channel, because who would, we're following the Formula 1 calendar throughout the year. And we're doing IFR flights from circuit to circuit, and then VFR flights of each circuit. And then moving along to the next one. Now, that being said, there are 4 new bush trips with the latest world update, which is Czech Republic, and a few others. Eastern Central Europe or something. Eastern Europe, I can't remember what they said officially, but I just know Czech because my piano is Czech. But we also had just flown in the previous circuit into and out of areas that are now covered by the latest world update, but I flew those before the world update. So that's kind of a bummer. I don't think this region was in the world update. I think we're just barely north of the border. I could be wrong, but I think we're barely north of the border of what the world update covered, and we're going really fast because we're going downhill. So that's kind of a bummer that the world update came out after our flights there, but that's okay. We'll be flying there again, don't worry. And like I said, 4 bush trips. I got to figure out how I'm going to have time to do 4 bush trips. The only way I can see myself doing it is if the topic of my channel update is delayed. If it's delayed, then we're golden. I'm going to keep flying and Minecrafting as long as I can. But once the events take place outlined in my big channel update, yeah, I don't know when I'll see you with those things other than just casual things here and there. So anyway, I've already said too much. Alright, mixture is rich. Landing lights on, please. Taxi lights off. Pitot heat on. I used to jokingly say pitot, and then everyone was calling me out in the comments. I'm like, dude, it's an inside joke. But again, if you don't watch every video, then you're not going to know that. Confirm flaps, yes. Carb heat in, yes. Time on clock. There's a clock in this one right in the middle. 8:22, just about. Okay, that's it. Parking brake off. Was that parking brake? Come on, which one is it? Thank you. There we go. That is it. It's that simple. I wasn't even going to use a checklist, but you should always use a checklist. Always, 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 always. Or else you forget the simplest things. Announce takeoff to the south. Here we go.
Echo Bravo Sierra Papa, traffic turtle soup Tango Tango Tango, 4-1 taking off runway, 2 tree departure to the south.
And it was fitting that world weather 2 weeks later is all rainy because a lot of Spa was rain, except for the actual race. Qualifying practice, sprint, just before the race. So for the other feature race or the other support races, all rain. And then the actual race happened, and brake stop loose flaps coming in, and then there's a little sprinkle 3/4 of the way through, but that was it. Alright, ignore that weird looking road down there. Let's get some altitude as quickly as possible, and then we will look for this racetrack. I think I'm heading in the right direction. Let's use this. Ooh, there's some nice screenshots there. Just looking around because we can. Alright, now we're gonna go this way just a tad. Get some altitude so that we can find this racetrack from the air, because it's in the woods and it's in the hills. So like I said, it's not a flat open space next to an airport like a lot of them actually are. This one you gotta look around a little bit, so it's gonna take a little bit of effort to find it, unless we're really, really high, which are not gonna be. Is that it there already? It can't be there already. We're not going that fast, are we? We're only doing 70 knots. Anyway, the race itself was fun. I mean, Formula 1 this season, has been incredibly boring, and I think when they gave their numbers, they lost a lot of viewership. They've lost a lot of viewership. At least F1 TV has. because it's been such a boring season. That being said, this last race is probably the second most exciting race of the season, but that is not saying much. I think that's in front of us here, the part that sticks down. So that's not saying a whole lot, but I mean, it was more exciting than the other races. Wow, look at all the turbine farms everywhere. This area is so beautiful too. Let's look outside. Yeah, that's the racetrack right there, obviously. So if you don't know Spa, it kind of looks like the Tesla symbol from this angle. Well, from this angle, see, there's the thing that sticks out, then Tesla, see, kind of, if you want to think of it that way. We'll take the drone out, don't worry. We always take the drone out and do a detailed look of the track when we get there. And then we look at the surrounding areas and talk about it. And I always make sure, if I can, to do the VFR flights of the circuit after the race, so I can act like I know what I'm talking about. But anywho, let's get over the track, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. Alright, here we go. Let's set up the engines, because even with active pods, your engines change. So let's active pause, and let's adjust everything. I think we're good, actually. We're gaining speed, so let's bring back throttles a little bit. There we go. You can actually ruin your aircraft during active pause. I've done it before during bush trips many times. Alright, we'll let it sit like that. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here we go. Here's your track. Somehow I still got to get a picture of this thing with the airplane in there. So let's go like this, perhaps. And maybe go like, I don't know. This is not going to be a very good thumbnail. Yuck. Anyway, it's such a big track, it's hard to get the whole thing, because this is the longest track in or on the formal calendar. It's 4.3 miles, I want to say. Ooh, we're in the clouds. 4.3, 4.1, something like that. I'm not too into like the exact number, but something like that. I guess we'll just do a thumbnail like this. This is all nasty. Such a big track. Like I said, biggest one. Most difficult too, because it needs much different or multiple technical skill. Like some tracks you just have to drive fast, some tracks you have to drive slow around corners. Like Hungary, right? The Hungaroring was very difficult because it was just all slow corners. And then there's some tracks that are just all fast. Like for example, the ones where Williams does very well when it's just fast. But otherwise, this needs multiple skill sets, and therefore setting up the cars is like, do you go for high downforce like Hungaroring, or do you go low downforce, or do you do a mixture, or what do you do? Do you hope your competitors are doing it one way, then you're going to do it another way? It's very tricky. Plenty of elevation change. I always talk about elevation change because on TV you can't really tell, but in the simulator, we're getting crooked, which means I got to reset it. And it's going to have to come back here, but on TV you can't tell. In the simulator you can, and the only way you can tell on TV is in the beginning of the race when they have a little graphic that tells the elevation. But there you go. It goes way up high up this hill, which this is my favorite track and favorite corner in Forza, because I go too fast. It looks like you can go flat out, but you can't. The Formula 1 cars, some of them can, not all of them though. Depends how they're set up. And in fact, in the rain, a few people crashed trying to go full out. Goes up, comes around the corner, dips way back down. So lots of elevation changes. But it's just a beautiful track. Extremely long. Like I said, my favorite in Forza. This is also a dangerous one. There have been several deaths here in this area in the past few years. Especially in the rain, because like I said, some cars can go flat out through here, some cars can't. So those that can't will crash, especially in the rain, and then you can't see, and the people who can go flat out come up behind them and crash. So there have been several fatalities in this area in the past few years, which is very unusual to have fatalities in motor racing. So the fact it's the same track and pretty much the same area says maybe it's not the drivers, maybe it is the track, right? So anywho, you start here, right where that building is, and then you come around. Corner one, people do stuff all the time. And then you fly down here. I already talked about this. I love it. Long straightaways. So if you're doing a slow car in Forza, it's boring. Then there's this S curve here, which I know very well from the game. come around here, and then you start doing this stuff, which is fun because I always go too slow around here because you could pretty much go flat out through here in any car, and I go too slow. And then you gotta slow down a little bit here. And then this part is fun. Again, I always go too slow because you can go flat out in most cars. And then there's a chicane, which I take too quickly in the game. And there you're back to the beginning. So there you go. There's Spa. Whoops, let's not get too high because of clouds. There's my airplane right there in the middle. Again, looks like the Tesla symbol, kind of. Anyway, should I say more? Do I need to say more? I don't think I need to say more. Anyway, I'm just enjoying it. Hopefully you're enjoying this too. So my Formula One videos and flight sim are very popular. I never check numbers. Sometimes I do just for fun, but I usually don't. And my subscriptions haven't gone up, but my viewership has gone from 60 races or 60 views per video to like 300 or 400 in the Formula One stuff. So thank you all for watching. It makes me realize I do have people who watch these videos, so I better be careful what I say. In Minecraft too, I've gone from 14 viewers to like 200 viewers for Minecraft. So those of you watching this, maybe people aren't doing the Minecraft too, I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna go back to the same airport just because there really aren't any other airports that close to here. So let's just look outside a little bit, enjoy the area. It's kind of a rural area. There's not a whole lot of city stuff around. And then we'll wrap this up. These VFR circuit videos are rarely longer than half an hour. You never even get to half an hour usually. This is beautiful down here. Check out that. Oh wow, that's gorgeous. Windmill again. That's how I know where to go, I think, because if we keep an eye on that windmill or wind turbine, we keep it to our right, I think we'll get back to our airport. I think. Not totally sure about that, but anyway, enjoy that. Look at that, beautiful. Just beautiful. In the hills. I love how they're like, let's just put a racetrack in the hill. And everyone's like, okay. So anyway, what is next on the Formula One calendar after summer break is Netherlands, Max Verstappen's hometown. This, I guess, is half. I guess this is kind of his home race too, they say, because of his heritage. But the next race, Netherlands, is definitely his home race. I'm not a Max fan. I don't hate Max, but I don't care either. Not a Hamilton fan. I'm an Alonso fan because he's my age. I'm a Williams fan because they're figuring things out and maybe they can get back to where they used to be. Because remember, historically, Williams is like the most successful Formula One team in the history of Formula One. But you have to look at the entire history of Formula One. Newcomers to the sport don't understand that because they're always last. I'm like, well, not always last, and it didn't used to be that way. So anyway, I'm a Williams fan. I'm an Alonso fan. I would like to see Max and Daniel Ricciardo switch cars for a race. I think that'd be funny. At least switch for a practice session. I think that'd be hilarious. I'm pretty confident that's your airport, by the way. So let's announce position. What is it? SP. Select a runway. Same 123, right? And announce position. Full stop landing and position.
Echo Bravo Sierra Papa, Traffic Turtle Soup, Tango Tango Tango, 412 miles southeast, 3,100 feet, inbound to land runway, 2 tree.
And we'll launch our base.
Echo Bravo Sierra Papa, Traffic Turtle Soup, Tango Tango Tango, 41 is on base runway, 2 tree.
And right into our final.
Echo Bravo Sierra Papa, Traffic Turtle Soup, Tango Tango Tango, 41 is on final runway, 2 tree, to land.
The Pierce will say, but it's not final. You're right, it's not, because it was going to be until I realized I needed more room. So now we're back on base, but that's okay. So anyway, yeah, so I'm into Formula One. I'm actually not a sports person. I hate sports, but I'm into Formula One because of the super technical stuff. So I watch all the tech talks, and I love listening to Sam Collins and all that stuff. It's all the technical stuff. But then, the whole point is to watch the race, right? So the races have been really boring. And I'm not saying you need a bunch of crashes and stuff to make it exciting, although it does help. But races with 0 safety cars, so somebody gets ahead 23 seconds and they stay ahead 23 seconds even after pit stops, because there's no safety cars to regroup people. There aren't any crashes, which kind of adds some excitement. There aren't any near crashes. People just drive around for an hour and a half. I mean, I guess you can kind of expect that, right? Because it's been the similar same car for a couple seasons now, at least second season, right? So they got the car, the reliability is good. They got the cars figured out. So it's just like tweaking things for the different circuits. There you go, flaps. And so it's not like a brand new car where everyone's trying to figure things out again. Anyway, but those of you who are the truest Formula One fans know that the most exciting part is the midfield. So if you keep an eye on the midfield, that's where it's most exciting, and it's true. Of course, people like to cheer for their favorite winner all the time, but if you're into midfield stuff, that is where the most excitement is. So anyway, all right, I did not talk through that landing. We've talked through hundreds and hundreds of landings. A little bit of crosswind that compensated for that just a little bit. It sounded like a rough touchdown, but I don't think it was. You don't want a smooth touchdown when you're crosswind anyway. And yeah, we stalled just before ground effects, but that was kind of on purpose because for some reason I thought the runway was a lot shorter than it was. Anywho, alrighty, let's see, flaps up already. We'll do all of our shutdown stuff as soon as we announce clear of runway, and then we'll wrap this up. And yeah, I don't know what's coming up next on the channel. There are 4 bush trips, like I said. It would be nice to get through those bush trips before Formula One picks up again after summer break. That's just because, 2 videos a week for Formula One is a lot for me at the moment. Whereas the bush trips I can take it like a late night Monday and fly for 3 or 4 hours and do an entire bush trip in one go. And then just spread them out when I release them. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't know. You'll I don't know. Like I say, you'll find out when I find out, I guess. Let's see. Announce clear runway. Here we go.
Echo Bravo Sierra
That's
Papa,
loud.
Traffic Turtle Soup Tango
Let's put
Tango
that back.
Tango 41 is
And we'll
clear
just
of the
park where
runway.
we came from, even though there's the velocopter in front of us. That's kind of interesting. That's not the Spirit of St. Louis on floats, is it? No. That would... Is it? No. That would be really funny. Huh. That's interesting. Huh. Nope, it's not. Okay, good. I was going to say, what the heck? Anyway, we're going to park next to the Velociraptor. The Velocopter, the hill in the wind. Brakes are on full and we're not stopping, so let's just go right here and hit parking brake. That was crazy. Alrighty, come down here, all lights off now. Boo doo 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 doo. Pull the mixer back, turn the ignition off. Fuel shut off. I have to go like this. Where are you? That was rough. And turn that off and we're good. Alrighty, let's come out here. So anyway, I already gave the intro or the outro, like I said. I'm not sure what's coming up next or when. You'll find out when I find out. I'm assuming you've all seen the channel update video by now. So you know what I've been talking about this whole time or what I'm hinting at. So like I said, I would like to sneak in the bush trips. Maybe there'll be more Formula One when the summer break is over. Maybe you won't see me for a couple months. Maybe you will. So anyway, I don't know why I keep saying the same thing over and over. So like, subscribe so you know what happens next when I do, and I'll see you then.